Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on video mine. It means a lot. You guys keep clicking. If you guys keep clicking, I'll keep making. Today we have a new guest on the channel, Underdog Survivor. He's a growing channel. His link's going to be in my description. And if you're watching this on on his channel, then you can check me out. My link will be in his description. And today we're going to talk about something that Jeff Probst has talked about in his previews for the shows, his Instagram videos, and overall it's been in the season sneak peeks itself. It seems to be some sort of theme. Is it just a theme, or is it just Jeff hyping up this season? Is it just a red herring, or is it something pivotal to the season? We're going to talk about it. Underdog Survivor, introduce yourself.
What is up? If you're coming from Survivor Spencer's channel, my name's Underdog Survivor, and as he said, I am pretty new to the Survivor YouTube scene. I just started a channel a couple of weeks ago, and I'm looking forward to making a lot of content leading up to Survivor 41. So if that interests you, I'm sure it would since you're watching Survivor Spencer's channel, then head over to my channel. As he said, links going to be in the description. If you're coming from my channel, be sure to check out Survivor Spencer. He makes daily content on Survivor, which is pretty unique in the Survivor community. So be sure to check him out.
Yeah. Okay. So just getting into it really quickly, it's maybe we're looking for maybe a 10-15 minute video. It's not like my past podcasts that have been 42 minutes, an hour, something like that. But so we basically have two ideas each on what we think the quote unquote monster is going to be, as Jeff has referenced in his past sneak peeks and previews. And so we're trying to like understand, is the monster just like a symbolic thing? Is it a literal thing? And so we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to go first with my first theory. So my first theory is that Jeff is just hyping up this season because it's 26 days. So this is a very out there theory. But in my opinion, I think that so if you're not crazy super fans like us, the people who are watching this video, etc., you don't know that the season's going to be 26 days yet, right? The only reason we know is because of Inside Survivor. Most people don't watch Inside Survivor. We're like the 1%. The other 99% are completely clueless as to the fact that the season's going to be shortened. And so right now, the people who are clueless but are still watching Jeff's Instagram hear that it's going to be a monster season. And so I think Jeff is trying to hype it up. So when like the season takes a tack off from the casuals because it's 26 days, it's still going to be like in the middle where it was. I feel like Jeff is trying to compensate for the fact that it's 26 days by hyping it up so much as a quote unquote monster. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And the seasons that have been in Fiji the last 8 seasons, a lot of people think that they're sort of tame as compared to like the days of like Africa, Guatemala, Tocantins, a lot of the physically difficult seasons. And that's one of the biggest complaints of modern Survivors, that it's not physically difficult enough. And now that they shaved 13 days off it, it's going to be even more so. So I think Jeff is trying to hype that up because maybe they're going to compensate for that by like giving them less supplies, giving them less rice, giving them less rewards, which has been something that they've hinted at. So I definitely think that it could just be Jeff pulling something out of his ass.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Jeff. It seems like something Jeff would do, and so I mean, that's my first theory. What's your first theory?
My first theory is something a little bit out there, but we've seen Survivor do some crazy things in the past. I wouldn't put it past production. So this word monster, I didn't think anything of it when Jeff first said it, but now that he's said it twice and it's like in the official promo, I think there's a reason why he's choosing that specific word. So I'm going to the crazy theory. It's called Monster Island. It's sort of like the new Exile Island or Ghost Island or whatever you want to call it. Monster Island, where it's just totally brutal. It's like Edge of Extinction on steroids, but only one person's there at a time, and it's going to be like the main twist of the season. It's probably not what it actually is, but I think it'd be pretty cool if
it sounds so. Can you give me specifics for Monster Island, or would that spoil your next one?
I can give you specifics. Maybe like no supplies at all, no shelter at all, no water well, no nothing. Like no supplies. And no chance for an advantage. It's like Exile Island meets Edge of Extinction, but like both of them are like on triple difficulty. Like the name monster. The negatives of both, like being away from your tribe and not getting that time to build social bonds. And just the name Monster Island sounds really intimidating, and I think it would be something that is very different and I think that it could definitely have an impact on the game, but I don't think it would have an impact in a negative way like the Edge of Extinction.
It seems like a balanced thing, but almost too balanced to the point where it has no effect on the game, except just for like maybe giving us some really big character building moments. Which honestly, I'd take that over Edge of Extinction, Redemption Island, probably Ghost Island, just because I don't like the way that they did Ghost Island, and I'd take it over. What's the other one?
Island of the Idols.
I actually no. I'll leave Exile and Exile Island and Island of the Isles ahead of your hypothetical twist, because I like both of those. But the other three I can 100% put behind that twist. So I feel like it's probable, and it seems like kind of promising, and at least it's better than something that goes too far than going too short. All right, my second one is that what if there's just a lot of big storms and that there's multiple medical evacuations. So really just a physical tough season. I like it. So the first idea you get when he's talking about the season's a monster is you're like, oh, it's going to be like physically challenging. And maybe it's just as simple as that, the point where it's just physically challenging in order to suffice for the fact that, again, going back to my last theory that it's 26 days. I feel like maybe there's like a big storm, like a tribe evacuation from the game, like they had in Millennials vs. Gen X in David vs. Goliath. And there's like multiple medical evacuations, and it's a very tough, like specifically pre-merge. I feel like, but it could also be post-merge. So that's my second one. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, like I said, Fiji is not known for being like a very difficult and physically grueling place that they've had it, but there have been 2 evacuations due to monsoons, which they didn't do at any other point in Survivor. And I'm not an expert on like Fiji weather, but like I could see them going at a specific time of year where it's like monsoon season and they want the players to like go through a whole bunch of rain and stuff like that. And I definitely, and Jeff has also talked about the challenges being very difficult. And I think that
I've also heard that the rewards are like going to be terrible this year. They're going to be like basically like not at all like,
and then like the Flint is going to have to get passed between the tribes
around. Like
that's going to be brutal.
Yeah, it seems like it's either going to really work because it's going to get like really big character building moments and character moments in which you can like relate to somebody like really well. It's going to be like a Dave versus Goliath type of season, like where like you really relate to the characters and you can really you really get to know them through the experiences. Or it's just going to be like a Samoa season minus Russell Hantz, where the entire time it's just raining. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, it could go
both ways. Because like
exactly.
It could be that like they're in the shelter the entire time because it's raining, so they just can't even talk strategy, which would make the season really boring.
Terrible.
Or it could make for a lot of, like you said, great characters, which is something that the show is very sorely lacking in the modern era.
Correct. Yep. Aside from, I think Millennials vs. Gen X, Ko Rong, and Dave vs. Goliath out of the 30s, and obviously Cambodia, but that's a returning. So really,
I would argue to some degree Edge of Extinction, but that's a topic for a different video.
I mean, but my issue with Edge of Extinction comes from the fact that aside from Aubrey and Joe, the Kama tribe is just like in the pre-merge, the Kama tribe is like, I didn't know any of their names. I didn't care what any of the names were. Yeah. And then in the post-merge, because they all stay, they start to be introduced to you, but they're all introduced to you like in their Buddha episode. So it's like you get on the side of like Julia, and then she literally gets like, the whole tribe that went crazy, and then she just goes home. And then oh, this is Victoria. Oh, she's gone. Oh my God, this is like, who else? This is Ron. Oh no, he's gone. Like, so I feel like with the Kama tribe, they all just like didn't get anything until their boot episodes because of the fact that the Manu tribe was so much more entertaining to watch, and what went to tribal early on so much more. But that's a whole different podcast.
Yeah, this is not a podcast about Edge of Extinction. I do want to make a video in defense of Edge of Extinction, which I think would be kind of interesting. But like I said, it's a topic for a completely different video, not what we're talking about. So
I'll be the first person to watch it. But yeah, so what's your second one, and we'll close.
My second one kind of ties into what you were just talking about, and I think the challenges specifically, not just the rewards, but the challenges themselves are going to be probably the most brutal that they've ever had. the typical challenge format is like you do an obstacle course and then you do a puzzle, and then in the post merge you do endurance challenges, and I feel like that's kind of stale, and the players kind of know what to expect, and they can strategize and put certain people in different positions. But I think that Survivor is really going to amp up the challenges, make the weaker people like the Cerise and Sanders of the world do the physical parts of the challenge, and make some
You're
of the
you're Heathers of this season. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're going to make some of like maybe the Dannies of the season
Yeah.
who are good
Yeah.
athletically, but maybe not strong in the puzzles. You're going to end up seeing them having to do the puzzles. And physically, I expect that they're probably going to have very difficult challenges, and people might even like be passing out of dehydration or something like that. I could see that because I think at one point Jeff made a video talking about like, oh, I'm about to go film a challenge and it's going to be a really intense challenge, just like all the other ones this season. And I think he really means that. I think that there's going to be some really tough challenges. I can't wait to see what they are, because challenges are really fun if they do them right. So I'm hoping that's what they do. I hope they have a lot of monster challenges.
And proving my point about the weather and the bad storms. Something that proves my point is that in the promo, it's raining, winds blowing past, and Jeff kind of lets on that this has been happening like a lot in the past few days, and so that kind of proves the point that it's going to be a tough season weather wise. And I think your idea has just as much backing to it as well. And so that's it, guys. I mean, if you're on his channel, like come on to my channel. I post daily. We do a lot here. And if you're on my channel, go check out him. He's up and coming. He's me a month ago. Go sub to him. He's worth it. And yeah, that's it. See you guys later.
Thanks for watching. Peace.